Namaste friends and welcome to our YouTube channel Prakruti Vlog. We recently completed an amazing 7-day journey in Andaman through Port Blair, Havelock, Neil and Baratang, and we are going to share our full itinerary so your Andaman trip becomes effortless. We landed in Port Blair, the gateway to the Andaman Islands, calm, warm and refreshingly different from mainland India. From the airport, we booked a cab to our homestay in Hattu, which is conveniently close to the jetty. If you want to save money, you can always take a bus or auto instead of a cab. After freshening up, we rented a scooty for Rs 500 a day and headed to Chatham Island, where we captured some beautiful shots on the iconic Chatham Bridge. We skipped lunch and headed straight to Samudrika, which is about 1.5 kilometers from our homestay. The museum is run by the Indian Navy and the entry ticket is just Rs 50. Inside, the museum is divided into sections that showcase the history of Andaman Islands, the geography, the indigenous communities, archaeology and the rich marine life. They also have an impressive collection of shells, corals and even a few beautiful species of local fish on display. At this spot, you will suddenly understand the bigger picture of everything you are about to experience. Day 2 started early. We took the first ferry to Subhash, also known as Havelock Island. There are both government and private ferries running this route, starting as early as 6 am. We booked the Green Ocean too, and the travel time usually ranges from about 1.5 to 2.5 hours, depending on sea conditions. But on our trip, the sea was a bit rough, so the ride was definitely more adventurous than expected, and the lower deck felt it the most. It took us about 2.5 hours to reach Swaraj Dweep, and then we headed to our homestay in Govind, Nagar, roughly 2 kilometers from the jetty. After breakfast, we rented a two-wheeler and planned to try some water sports at Elephant Beach, but due to the pre-effects of the incoming cyclone Senya, all activities were suspended. So instead, we made our way to the stunning Radhanagar Beach, roughly 10 km from the place where we were staying. Radhanagar Beach is considered one of the best beaches in India, and once you're here, it's easy to see why. You'll also find photographers near the entrance, so if you want some great pictures, this is the spot. We spent some time enjoying the water and then headed back to our stay as planned. But if you have the time, I definitely recommend staying here till sunset. The view is absolutely magical. We had planned to visit Kalapathar Beach. It's a fantastic spot for photography. But once again, the approaching cyclone had other plans. So we pushed the visit to another day and instead enjoyed the rain while munching on some delicious gobi manchurian. Day 3 was one of the most adventurous days of our trip. Early in the morning, we finally made it to the Kalapathar Beach. It is about 4 kilometers from our hotel and it greeted us with golden sand, blue waters and striking black rocks. The best part, it was completely peaceful with almost no crowd. The drive itself is very beautiful, surrounded by the lush green trees, and the beach is perfect for photography. After soaking in the calm vibes and taking amazing pictures, we headed back to our hotel. Next up was the adventure we were most excited for, scuba diving at Swaraj Dweep. Andaman is one of the best places in India to try scuba diving. We booked our session online with a popular operator, but you can easily book it offline as well. They start with basic training at the shore and then take you to the dive spot with one instructor assigned to each person. And once you go underwater, it's absolutely magical, a world you have probably never imagined. We saw so many varieties of fish, vibrant corals, lobsters and so much more. Honestly, there's no words to describe how breathtaking it felt. We genuinely felt we had entered another world. By the time we got back to our hotel, it was already afternoon. After lunch and a quick rest, we strolled down to Govind Nagar Beach, just a short walk away. We captured a few final memories from our time in Havelock and ended the day on a peaceful note. After 2 amazing days, it was time to say goodbye to Swaraj Dweep. We booked the 9:45 am Green Ocean 2 ferry to Shahid Dweep, also known as Neel Island. Since it was a rainy day, the journey took longer than expected and we finally reached Neel Island around 12 pm. After a quick brunch, we checked into our hotel, which is around 2 km from Shahid Dweep jetty. Unfortunately, here we couldn't find any two-wheelers for rent, so we hired an auto and headed straight to the Natural Bridge. Natural Bridge is one of the most iconic attractions on Shahid Dweep. After the drop-off, there's a short walk across the coral formations, so make sure you're wearing a comfortable footwear. Here you can hire a guide or explore the area at your own pace. Formed over the years of ocean erosion, it's best visited during low tide. Along the way, you can spot a lot of tiny marine creatures. And we spotted plenty of tiny colorful fish along with crabs, sea urchins, brittle stars and even a mantis shrimp. After the visit, we returned to our hotel and spent the evening enjoying the rain along with some tasty snacks. And that's how our day on Shahid Dweep came to an end, filled with nature, rain and relaxed island moments. If you have extra time and the weather allows you, you can also plan a visit to Baratang Beach. On day 5, we made our way back to Port Blair. We booked the Nautica ferry scheduled at 10:45 am and the journey took around 1 hour and 45 minutes. This time, we checked into the same hotel we stayed at on day 1. After lunch, we took an auto and headed to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep, better known as Ross Island. To reach Ross Island, you need to catch a boat from Aberdeen Jetty. A quick tip, the last boat to Ross Island departs at 2 pm, so make sure you plan accordingly. The boat ride is just about 15 minutes, but once you arrive, it honestly feels like stepping into a completely different world. Ross Island is lush, peaceful and slightly haunting in its own unique way. The historic ruins are the main highlight here. Once the British administrative headquarters, the island has now been completely taken over by nature. You will see the remains of the old bazaar, bakery, church, printing press, the chief commissioner's residence and many more. And the cutest part? Deer and peacocks roam freely across the island. They are very friendly and completely unafraid of humans. Visitors are usually allowed around 1.5 hours on Ross Island, after which you board the same boat back to Port Blair. You can explore the island either on foot or by taking a tourist vehicle, but I would highly recommend walking. It gives you the freedom to explore and capture the photos at your own pace. Ross Island truly feels like a place frozen in time. It's not just a destination, it's an experience and it's absolutely worth visiting. If you want, you can catch the 5:30 pm light show on Ross Island, available on all days except Wednesdays. You'll need to book the tickets online, and there's a separate boat for visitors attending the show. Later, near Aberdeen Jetty, you can also try some water sports. However, due to rough sea conditions, most activities were halted. That said, we still managed to enjoy a jet ski ride. With that, we ended day 5, exploring Ross Island, reliving history and enjoying the calm island vibes of Port Blair. Day 6 started very early for us at 3:30 am as we headed to Baratang to explore Limestone Caves and Mud Volcano. We reached Jirkatang around 5 am. Since we booked the trip online, all permits were already arranged. At Jirkatang, you will find basic washroom facilities and a few snack shops to freshen up. Vehicles move ahead only after 6 am, traveling together in a police convoy through the Jarava Reserve Forest, where photography is strictly prohibited. If you are lucky, you might even spot some tribal people along the way. It took us about 2 hours to reach Middle Strait Jetty. From here, we boarded a short ferry ride costing just ₹15 per person to cross over to the other side of the island. The ferry drops you at Neelambur Jetty, from where you need to take a speedboat to Baratang. The speedboat ride is one of the highlights, passing through a tidal creek surrounded by dense mangrove forests. The route is incredibly scenic and takes around 20 minutes. After reaching the jetty near the Limestone Caves, there's a beautiful 2-kilometer walk through the forest to finally reach the caves. Just before reaching the caves, there are a few small shops where you can grab your refreshments. The Limestone Caves are a hidden natural wonder deep inside the forest. Inside, you will see a stunning limestone formations shaped over thousands of years by water and time. The caves are naturally cool, dark and slightly mysterious, making the experience truly thrilling. A guide usually accompanies you and explains how these formations were created. For us, the limestone caves felt like a true wonder of nature. The beauty and geometry of the formations left us completely amazed. After exploring the caves, we boarded the same boat back towards Baratang. Since our return convoy to Port Blair was scheduled at 12:30 p.m, we still had some time left, so we decided to visit the mud volcano. Although we had not opted for it during booking, our driver helped arrange the vehicle through his local contacts. The mud volcano is located about 15 minutes from Neelambur Jetty. After the drop-off point, there's a short 500-meter walk to reach it. At first, it looks nothing more than a pile of mud, but once you reach the other side, it genuinely feels like your geography textbooks have come to life. Unlike lava volcanoes, this one slowly releases cool mud and gases from deep beneath the Earth's surface. The bubbling mud forms small cones, creating a surreal and almost otherworldly landscape. It's believed to be formed due to the underground tectonic activity in this region. Visiting the mud volcano gives you a completely different perspective of Andaman, beyond just beaches and islands. We returned to Neelambur Jetty just in time and departed along with the 12:30 p.m. convoy back to Port Blair. After reaching our homestay, we headed to the Cellular Jail for light and sound show. However, due to a technical issue, the show was cancelled. Day 6 reminded us that Andaman is much more than beaches. From hidden caves to bubbling mud volcanoes, it was a day we will never forget. Day 7 marked the final day of our Andaman trip. Our flight was scheduled for 3 p.m, so we checked out of our homestay early and headed to the Cellular Jail. It opens at 9 a.m. and visiting at that time meant fewer crowds. Cellular Jail, also known as Kalapathar, is one of the most powerful historical landmarks in Andaman Islands. As you step inside, the towering walls and narrow corridors immediately reflect the harsh conditions under which our freedom fighters were imprisoned. Built by the British, the jail was designed to isolate Indian freedom fighters completely. Inside, there's a detailed photo gallery that walks you through the history of Andaman Islands and India's freedom struggle. We also witnessed the Swatantra Jyoti, a flame lit in the honor of the brave freedom fighters. Visiting the cells where Veer Savarkar and Sachindranath Sanyal were imprisoned was deeply emotional. You can also see the names of many freedom fighters who were once held here. From the top of the jail, you get a panoramic view of the entire complex, making the experience even more powerful. There is also the gallows, a chilling reminder of the sacrifice made here. You can explore the Cellular Jail either with a guide or on your own. Today, it stands as a symbol of sacrifice, courage and India's long struggle for independence, leaving every visitor with a deep sense of respect and reflection. We spent nearly 1.5 hours at the Cellular Jail and then headed out for breakfast. After that, we visited Corbyns Cove Beach for a short, relaxing stop. Finally, we returned to our homestay, collected our luggage and took an auto to the airport. And with that, we've wrapped up our 7-day beautiful journey through the Andaman Islands, a trip full of memories, history and unforgettable experiences. In the next video, I'll share some useful tips to make your trip more memorable and budget friendly. So stay tuned. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with fellow travelers and subscribe to the channel for more travel stories and guides.